In a shocking verdict, the Madras High Court has granted bail to a rape convict so that he can participate in a mediation process with a rape survivor. According to reports, the rape survivor was a minor when she was raped. She has now lost her parents. The rape survivor has also given birth to a child after being raped. The order came after a bail plea was filed by the accused, who was since convicted and sentenced to 7 years in prison. He was also slapped with a fine of 2 lakh rupees by a Mahila court in Kudalur in 2002. Granting interim bail to the convict in this case, Justice D. Devadas of the Madras High Court held that alternative dispute resolution such as mediation is now being used in criminal cases also. Justice Devadas pointed out that he'd already referred the case for mediation and that it was nearing a happy resolution, quote unquote.
This actually gives room for a convict who has been found guilty by a proper trial court and which has adjudicated after seeing the prosecutrix, after seeing the evidence, sifting everything, to go out scot-free. And also it in a way suggests that the woman gets a remedy and the child will also be accepted only if they are with the rapist and not otherwise.
And I want to bring in my colleague Srisha Reddy for more on this. Srisha, bring us the details. Who was the petitioner in this case? How did the court grant bail to a man convicted of rape?
Well, Gaurav, as far as this case is concerned, it's not like, other regular cases, because in this particular case, this particular girl, who was raped in July 2012 was an orphan. She was living with an adopted mother. So that's when this entire case unfolded. And when she was a minor when she was raped, and that's when, after she gave birth to a child, the judge in fact observed that the child should not suffer the social stigma. So that is one of the reasons that why he said that an initiation of this particular, proposal in fact will work in the favor of the girl, because she is an orphan and she has another child to take care of. So if in case they can agree on this proposal of reconciling, it will help her in the longer run, is what the judge in fact observed. But this has not gone down with people in Tamil Nadu. In fact, there have been series of rape cases that have been happening. If, this kind of cases have been put forward, so what kind of precedence is this setting is what one raised the question. Of course, the petitioner...
Stay with me for a moment.
In this particular case...
Yes. We'll talk about, I want to bring in Premila Nesargi for more on this. Ma'am, you've been looking at women and child development issues. How do you look at a judge who grants bail to a rape convict, a man convicted of raping a minor, and says, okay, go talk to her and marry her?
In law, strictly speaking, it may not be. But even in our High Court in Karnataka, this is not the first time in Madras. In our High Court also, many cases have come where the rape cases, when the child is there, when the lady is pregnant, many of them come forward to say that we are marrying. In that case, our High Court also has been very lenient and have given permission them to marry if they agree together. So one thing is that what we look at is justice. Courts are meant for doing justice between the parties. Whether here is a victim and an innocent child is there. What the child has done, without any sin of it, the child is born and brought to the society. So it is the parents who brought to the society are responsible to take care. In this case, if the person comes forward and says that I will take care of and marry her and I take care of the child, that is doing justice with child in particular, and more so also to the lady.
Will this also not encourage rape in future? Premila Nesargi, stay with me. I want to bring in Jagmati Sangwan for more on this. Does this not mean go rape a woman, you could go to jail, but come back and marry the victim, the rape survivor, and you start your life afresh? What do you make of this verdict, Jagmati Sangwan?
This is highly unfortunate. The mindset of this judge seems very, very oppressive. How can he give such type of verdict? A minor being raped by a criminal, and he is just giving the verdict that there should be mediation. How it can be mediated between a minor girl raped and the criminal? It's objectionable, and it will definitely lead to the increase of violence against women, and the rapist will be emboldened.
Yes, stay with me for a moment. Respond to this, Pramila Nesargi. Jagmati Sangwan says this will lead to rise in crime against women. Rapes will increase. Okay, I've lost that line to Pramila Nesargi. Yes,
hello.
Yes,
the moment he rapes, he will also be in a fear that the court may ask him to marry her, whether he likes it or not. There may be people coming from the highest family, and they will be asked to marry a different community, or that they will be afraid. But in a given case and this given set of circumstances, if it fits and if it is doing justice between the parties, it can be gone.
But is this justice? Is this justice? I want to put that question to Nagashila. Is this justice, ma'am?
You let him suffer the punishment, let him undergo the punishment.
Marriage is a union of two people. It is not suffering. Nagashila, do you concede? Do you agree with this point that Pramila Nesargi says that this is justice? The rapist marrying the survivor?
I am sorry that I completely disagree with that, because I think one must understand that the direction of the Madras High Court is clearly illegal, because even as early as 2013, the Supreme Court in Shimbu's case has very categorically held that in rape instances there can be no question of any mediation or negotiation, because that would send the wrong signal to all rapists. And the court has clearly said that an act of rape is an act against society,
yes,
and so a deterrent punishment is mandatory. And so there is no question of asking the victim to compromise, because one must realize that most victims come from as it is, a victim is in a very vulnerable position.
Yes.
Most victims come from very vulnerable sections of society, and if a rape accused can think that by coercing a victim to come from a compromise, they can get away with it, then the entire different nature of the law will completely go. And it's completely unacceptable.
Yes.
And even legally, rape is not a compensable offense. In fact, it is not even an offense for which you can enter into a plea bargaining. So I think this kind of an approach is completely illegal.
And Jagmati Sangwan, this is a time when women activists and the society in general is trying to have harsher punishment for crimes against women. This is a major setback to that movement, ma'am.
True, exactly. I think that is, and more unfortunate is that this is coming from the section of judiciary and from the High Court itself. And we feel that this is doubly violating the minor. This is permitting the criminal to commit the crime in his against this minor girl.
Yes.
And it is definitely in a regress side.
Ladies, stay with me for a moment. I also want to bring in Justice R.S. Sodhi, former Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court. Justice Sodhi, what do you make of this verdict, sir, where the court is telling the rapist, go out on bail, mediate with the child, with the survivor, and you could marry the survivor, the rape survivor, because she's given birth to a child? Justice Sodhi.
You know, I think the court should start normalizing and giving suggestions. It's a crime and must be dealt with as is required by law. There is no justification in giving directions to go and marry a victim. A victim is a victim, and an accused is an accused. This man is a criminal, and he has to be dealt with in accordance with the law of the land.
And Justice Sodhi, what makes this case even worse? This is not an accused. He's a convict. He's a man who's been convicted of raping a minor. Instead of getting the strictest possible punishment, he's actually being sent out on bail to marry the survivor. And people are looking at it as justice so that the child gets a father.
No, this is even worse. I thought he was under trial and was being given a reprieve, but. This is even worse. That a convict has been asked to go and marry a victim. I mean, this is adding fuel to fire. She's already a victim of this man's brutality and inhuman behavior, and there she has to become his wife for lifelong. What kind of moralization is this?
What should happen in a case like this, sir, now that the convict is already out on bail, sir?
I think the bail part is a different thing altogether. The purpose of bail is offensive.
Yes.
I think that the purpose is offensive. Bail you may grant, may not grant. That's a separate issue altogether.
Justice Sodhi, for the moment, many thanks for joining me. I'd also like to thank Jagmati Sangwan and Naga Shila, women's rights activists who've been campaigning against this and who said this is wrong, morally wrong, ethically wrong, and legally it is incorrect. We're moving on.